Hey guys, Pat here from Tap Bodybuilding. If you've been struggling in the gym to make gains, I really want you to consider what I'm about to show you in this video. Could change everything for you if you really apply it and give it a shot. Now, the number one desire of all bodybuilders, what is it? It's results. So the number one problem that most bodybuilders have, I would say, in my opinion, is something called the discipline of restraint. You see, we love being in the gym. It does so much for us mentally. And so refraining from going to the gym, especially for recovery, can be very difficult. If you've been training, you give it your all, your results, they're stagnant at best. Or maybe at average, they're inconsistent, or at worst, you're getting no results or you're going backwards. Now, just about every exercise program will give you results initially. Regardless of what you're doing, you go in the gym, you haven't worked out, you're going to get results. That's how your body works. It responds to that added stress. It gets a shock because it's not used to it. It responds, and really that's the easy part. The hard part is knowing what to do when what you're doing stops working. And this is where every program where the rubber hits the road, at some point it's going to stop working. What do? Do you add more sets, more reps, more days in the gym, more movements, more exercises? What if I told you that the solution that has worked best for my clients over the years is not adding volume and achieving more fatigue, but adding intensity and reducing overall volume? Now, I'm talking increasing the intensity or difficulty of each set, and most importantly, adding more uninterrupted recovery time. Rather than adding more sets, more reps, more days in the gym, more exercises, training body parts more frequently. For over the past 30 years of applying these principles, I've seen average trainees consistently gain significant muscle, not just due to the initial shock of the workouts, but because of the recovery that's added to their program. Now, exercise places stress on the muscle, and when properly stimulated, the body makes physiological changes to produce more tissue in order to protect from future stress, if the circumstances for that change are correct. Now, think of the physiological changes that happen to your hands from gripping a barbell over time. Well, if we've been training for a while, we all have calluses on our hands. But imagine if that friction on our hands is too severe, or repeated too often, or repeated before the skin can actually recover to create a callus. You then would develop a blister, something more severe. So instead of your hand becoming more resilient and efficient, the tissue now becomes damaged and actually needs additional time to heal. Think about exposing your skin to the sun. When the exposure is limited and just right, the skin responds by creating a tan that offers protection against future exposure. So the stress causes the body to adapt, and then a tan will ensue. But when the exposure exceeds what the skin can actually tolerate, it burns. The stress becomes greater than the tissue's ability to protect and repair itself. Now, imagine returning to the sun, like many return to the gym unrecovered, the day after getting severely burned in the sun. Your skin is already inflamed and damaged. More exposure doesn't give it a better tan. It adds new stress before the original damage has been able to heal or recover. The burn becomes worse, and now recovery takes even longer. Muscle building follows a very similar principle. Only when there's the proper amount of muscular stress followed by sufficient recovery does adaptation and growth occur, and further damage can become prevented. See, adaptation is when your body changes itself so that it can better handle the same challenge or stress in the future, i.e. gaining more muscle. In weight training, you challenge the muscle with heavy resistance, and during recovery, the body responds by rebuilding your muscle stronger and larger, making the same weight easier to handle when your muscle experiences that in the future. Very simply put, stress gives the body a reason to change. Recovery gives it the opportunity to change, and that change is adaptation. Now, too much training or training again before recovery is complete, like going in the sun for a tan when you have sunburn, interrupts recovery and makes it worse. It prevents adaptation and growth, and it actually creates more fatigue and tissue stress than the body can manage. Instead of progressing, performance now stalls and declines. The lesson is simple. Enough stress produces adaptation. Excessive stress interrupts recovery and produces breakdown. Training hard again before recovery is complete adds unnecessary stress to an already compromised system. So you don't grow by repeatedly interrupting recovery. You grow by applying enough stress to stimulate adaptation, allowing recovery to occur, and then training again when the body is prepared to perform. And I'd like to just mention one important training distinction. Muscle soreness alone, or the lack thereof, does not always mean a muscle is recovered or unrecovered. So what are the indicators of a fully recovered muscle? Strength, performance, joint discomfort, energy, sleep, and whether soreness affects normal movement. All of these provide a much better overall picture. So those are the things you really want to monitor. You also have the CNS, the central nervous system, and your hormonal systems and other systems. They're all systemic with the muscular system. And when these are overly taxed and unrecovered, they short circuit, or certainly can short circuit, recovery as well. So when you discover your gains have stopped, or when you feel you're overtrained, the thing to do that I recommend is not add more stress by adding more volume, but instead cut back and give your recovery some breathing room. What dozens, if not hundreds of my clients over the past 30 some years have done successfully is that when gains stop, we make sure we reduce volume and increase the intensity. And 9 times out of 10, we continue to progress. This doesn't mean workouts become easier. Actually, as I cover in the book, Shock Your Body into Growth, the intensity of each exercise should increase after a drop in overall volume and output. Growing your muscle is not about what works. Again, it's about knowing what to do when what you're doing stops working. And my experience is that 90% of the time, this means reduce volume, add more recovery, uninterrupted recovery, and increase the intensity. Now, if you need help figuring this out and you want to understand your body's recovery more, I would love to help. Just reach out. Until then, remember the precise amount of muscular stress gives the body a reason to change, and uninterrupted recovery gives it the opportunity to change. So if you're plateaued and you haven't gotten the results you want, practice the discipline of restraint. Take more rest days, drop the volume of each workout, the amount of sets you're doing, and increase the difficulty of the sets that remain. This, I believe, will not only break your plateau, but give you significant and noticeable results. Let me know how you do.